But Vettel coming chicane now. He hits that very, but he gets it turned in perfectly. Really, pole for Vettel here at Spa. Yeah, none of the medium runners stayed on the medium. The top three all on the super softs, and their strategy is a bit different from the stop for them. Let me just get this link back into a few chats because of the problems with Right, I have posted that, but we will carry on, guys. Vettel on pole by a tenth from Harry. Sebster in third. The three super soft runners at the top. Then we have Chapelele and Larkin on the softs, a bit behind. Evolution in sixth on the supers. Joss, J. Cole, and Gamer, Gameaholic, that one, on the softs. And then finally at the back is Jeroen on the super soft tyres.
Yeah, fantastic lap from Vettel to put it on pole into the 141s as well. Very quick around this track. Alinio did very well to put it on provisional pole, but obviously Vettel made a charge at the end of the qualifying. He got the best, basically, grip of the track as he was the last man out and got the best time today. It's going to be interesting for P4, 5 and 6 as they are, P4 and 5 even, as they are starting on the softs. Will they be able to challenge into turn one or even on the Kemmel straight towards turns, I should get this right, towards turn 7, 8 and 9 of Lecom. And it'll be interesting whether how long will they push these softs, and how long will the supers go, because they'll start to wear around lap 5, and then travelling up through Rouge will be a struggle indeed.
Yeah, really the track where first place is not ideal to be starting, actually. Second place is a much better place on the grid to be starting in this modern era of F1 cars, with the slipstream as powerful as it can be. Yeah, I'm predicting a one-stop for all of them, but the supers can only go about 6-ish laps. If you can push them longer than that, fair play to you, but it is a very much the top three have got to be tyre saving all the way to the end of this race. They can't be battling throughout the whole race, otherwise they will really struggle on their tyres. Softs will surely, they probably won't have much issues, but I'm predicting around lap 10, around that 9, 10 for the softs, for the mediums, as you want to get the most out of both tyres. But Sauber's at the back. Force Indias, are they on the same row? No, they're not. That's a Haas on a Force India. I thought they were on the same row, so I was going to say a bit like Noah's Ark, but they're not going in twos. Yeah, formation lap is very long.
Yeah, what will be interesting is, as Vineyard is the only sole Toro Rosso racing, he needs to get as many points as possible and in front of the Force Indias to keep the Toro Rosso constructors title alive, and then also he's got to keep himself in front of Larkin as well, because they're battling for the championship, and Vettel fan as well. So if Herinho gets an excellent start off the line into turn 1, he will, or even if he doesn't go for it into turn 1, he'll have the best run through the Camel Straight towards Lecom.
Yeah, as the drivers are making their way to the grid, and they're going to pass 3 mischievous cars, I guess, that have been managed to get themselves disqualified from this formation lap in some way or another, probably by slight contact, but obviously wasn't really paying it. But yeah, Vettel is lined up on the grid. It always does this really weird camera angle with the first driver, but now, it's still a bit glitched, but we're going to have to go with Harry now.
So it's 4 and 5 lights, and it's lights out away here at Belgium. Vettel gets a decent start off the line. He will have the inside into turn 1, and Helenio tries to hang it round the outside. He gets forced a little bit wide, but he's going to sensibly hold back. He couldn't keeps his position P2. Up towards our road for the first time. He's going to get into the slipstream of Vettel fan with Sebster in the red, and Renault wanting to get involved as well. Down the camel straight we go, and into the toe of Vettel fan will go Helenio, and he will going to have the outside going into turn 7 of Lecom. He's going to try and go around the outside, keeps it nice and clean. He will have the inside for the second half, but Vettel fan is still there. He's going to be going side by side into turn 9, and Vettel fan keeps the lead of this race, as behind is the Ferrari, Chapelelli and Sebster. And inside line for Vettel fan, Helenio is still stuck behind this McLaren driver who wants to get in front as quickly as possible to keep the gap to the Force Indias and push on for his title race. But towards P1 they go now, and Vettel fan is starting to get into his groove now. He's pulled a little bit away, but going towards one of the next fastest parts of this track, coming towards the final sector, they will, Helenio will want to be keeping within that 1 second window, because when he comes to lap 3, the AOR will be activated, and he will have even more straight line speed going down the Camel Straight.
Yeah, when they went up the Camel Straight, I thought Harry was going to have him at Lecom, but yeah, he kind of got forced out onto the curb. Got strangled a little bit, and Vettel fan managed to keep that inside for the corner. I forgot Malmedy, that corner. But yeah, Vettel fan stays in P1 after the start of the race. The biggest loser on that lap was Larkin, who's actually now just gained a position, but he was down 4 positions from turn 1. I think he got caught up in an incident there. But Jerwin has had to pit, and Vettel fan has actually pulled out quite a nice gap to Harry. Now, I don't think Harry will quite have the slipstream to gain on Vettel fan. It's going to be important though that he stays within that second window when it comes to lap 3, where he can really charge with that DRS open. But yeah, at the moment the McLaren keeping it very nicely in that first position.
Noticing as well, Sebster wants to keep himself in this fight for the win, as he is still keeping within the 1 second window of Helenio as well. So the Renault won't be out of the shout for this, as he is on the same strategy. It will come as Sebster, I believe, has made a mistake. He's lost a little bit of time, but if he can keep these tyres as he runs through P1 now a little bit wide, as he keeps these tyres fresh and doesn't push too hard, but keeps within a good window, as Helenio gets close right on the back of Vettel fan, going into towards the third set. He was a little bit wide.
Yeah, he lost about 2 tenths there.
He hasn't lost too much time, but now we go towards Blanchimont and then up towards one of the hardest braking zones on this track of the bus stop, showing you have to shift down quite quickly into third to get it stopped and turned in. But Helenio will want to bide his time. He doesn't want to go for any late moves, but he wants to make sure that he gets the job done as safely and quickly as possible, because being behind the driver can cause your tyre temps to go up even more than they should do, as he does set the fastest lap on the straight of a 1:46. So he is pushing a little bit, but he has been having slipstream, and he's been pushing his EOS as well, as I've seen on the telemetry. So he wants to keep within Vettel's 1 second window. As the illusion ready on now onto the Camel Straight. He's very close to the back of Vettel fan coming down the Camel Straight. Will he be forced to go around the outside? DRS wide open for a Toro Rosso driver. And will he make the move? He does, round the outside into Lecom. He has the move done. He is now leading this race. Vettel wants to do now is keep within the same 1 second window and basically try and make the same move, or even try and make a move through Blanchimont and into the bus stop. Yeah,
that is how powerful that slipstream can be, because he was 5 tenths back before the start of the straight and he was cleanly through by the end of it. But Vettel fan and Harry have managed to break that DRS from Sebster, so Sebster now going to come under a little pressure from behind with the likes of Chapelelli and Evolution, who's just fallen off slightly, but especially Chapelelli, who's on those soft compound tyres, going along in this race. And if he can just stay behind Sebster, That'll benefit him a lot. But I'm actually going to go on with Chapelele, who's right up to the back of Sebster and got a real good chance now down this back straight. Is he going to go for it here, or is he going to save the ERS for the next lap? I think he's gonna look for it into this bus stop chicane here on lap 3. Can Chapelele get past? He goes to the outside. He hasn't really got anything, and Joss has retired. I don't know where that was. I have a feeling that might have been at Blanchimont. But
it is at Blanchimont.
It was at Blanchimont. So that is a big crash for him then. I can't really view it, but we're going to go back with Chapelele now, as he's got the slipstream. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to go with Vettel. Vettel now got the slipstream again on Harry. Harry now in a dangerous position, like Vettel was last lap. Vettel opens the DRS. He's going to be forced to the outside, you would think. Yes, he is. But is Harry going to be close enough alongside to hold the challenge into that corner? He is. This is not a good camera angle. Harry has lost the position to Vettel. So Vettel back into the lead of this race as Chapelele. Oh, there's a Renault round. Sebster is off on the gravel. He's lost, quite a lot of positions there. He was third at the beginning of the straight. He lost out to Chapelele, but he was round at the top of Malmedy. And that is his race in ruins. He'll do good to get it out of that gravel trap, but he will do. Harry's got a run now on Vettel as he come into Fania round the outside. Can he hold that? I don't think he can. He backs out. Very difficult place to make an overtake. But look at Chapelele now. He's right, closing right up to the back of these guys, and he might have a run on Harry here. So we'll have to watch out for that Ferrari. And
yeah, he's the dark horse in this, because he's the guy on the softs, first guy up the grid on the softs, and he is kept real close with these two guys as they've been battling, swapping places and essentially holding each other up, as Vettel fans holding the inside. Helene tries to go around the outside. He will have the inside for the next part of the bus stop, and he has got back into the race lead onto lap 5. He does get DRS as well, but he won't be getting DRS on the camera straight as Vettel takes the racing line, and as Helene covered the inside. But it's going to be interesting to watch Chapelele as the go up Eau Rouge now. Will Vettel get a better run? He's right on the back of.
Oh, look at Chapelele.
He's got a better run, and he's gone round the outside. He's got the be going side by side into the top, and Chapelele's gone for a move. He's trying to make a move on his super soft tyres are starting to fade away, and Chapelele's better tyres at the moment as he's now up into P2, and Vettel has been on pole position.
Yeah, this is good for Chapelele. It's only his third race out at Hungary, but his first race at Germany, he actually finished second. So if he can keep on this form and be up there by the end of this season, it's going to be tough for him to get all the way to the top. But he definitely break into that top 6, 5 or something. But Chapelele around the outside now. He's having a go at Harry already. He's gone around the outside. He's made it move. What a move from Chapelele into the lead of this race, and Vettel now into second place. So Harry loses 2 positions from a little mistake, I think, out of Stavolo. So not helping his cause at all. But look at J. Cole there. J. Cole in that battle as well. Vettel fan sends one down the inside. He can't really make it, and I think those guys are heading. Vettel is heading into the pits. So Vettel going for that undercut on Harry. Which is who we need to focus on. But look at J. Cole now, right on the back of this this battle for the lead. And I'm not ruling him out of the race either, because he is on those soft compound tyres as well. So he's got a real shout at this race win as well.
It looks like it's going to be a 4-way scrap for victory. There are only 3 steps on the podium, where Torino gets a little out shape at top of erosion through Radion. But he will have DRS, and he goes to the inside line. Yeah, Helene, the inside line of Chapelele is fighting nearly 3 wide into Lecom, and Chapelele is down to P2 with J. Cole battling him as well. What Helene needs to do now is push, as he doesn't want to get a massive undercut done by Vettel fan as he hit the lap earlier. So he's got to try and push on now, do a nice in-lap, and hopefully Toro Pit Crew can push out a good pit stop for him to keep battling with Vettel for the second stint of his race. and Shepard and J. Cole will be battling constantly, I believe, all the way through to when their tyres start to die. So, right now, no one will know who is going to win this race, as a four-way scrap is a race that can not be predicted.
Yeah,
so is going to be pushing now down through Blanchimont. Will he make a pit stop now, just to cover the undercut, or will he keep pushing?
I think the sensible thing for him to do now is to enter the pits on this lap just to cover Vettel, and he does. But I reckon I could see this being a five-way scrap for the lead as Evil Lucian follows him in. He is definitely not out of this either. So, and Larkin up there, having made an early. Well, I don't think he made an early stop. I thought he did, but no, he hasn't. So. Maybe he's a bit too far back, but we'll watch Vettel now coming up the pit straight. Where is Harry? Harry's coming towards the end of the pit lane. Who's going to be in front? I think Harry might have got ahead of Vettel and Bison as well. This is going to be close down the straight down towards Eau Rouge. Who is going to have? Is Vettel's tyres going to be warm enough after one lap to get a move done on Harry? Harry struggled up the top of a Radion with those cold tyres. He's going to force Vettel to the outside. Who's going to stay ahead into Les Combes? I think... Oh, this is too close. I think Vettel's going to have it. Vettel is ahead of the Toro Rosso of Harry. So Vettel back into the provisional lead of this race. Very good overtake.
Very good indeed. When you go for the outside into Les Combes, you will have the inside line is the second half of the chicane. So some might say, even though you got pushed to the outside, you get the benefit of the inside line. And he made it stick, and he got the move done incredibly, because Huniag will have the colder tyres. They wouldn't have been here to leave out, and especially as you saw when he was going through the top of Radion, he didn't want to push too hard, because I've seen drivers before try and push as soon as they come out of the pits with fresh rubber. They haven't got like optimal temperatures, and they'll just start losing the rear, and then that's where it could have been curtains for Huniag, but he's played sensible, and what he's going to have to do now is push on and keep Vettel fam within that second, so he can keep the DRS and good slipstream through the two long straights. And they also need to keep an eye out for basically distances to the leader of Shepard and J. Cole, because when they pit, they could be battling on exit as well.
Yeah, the gap from Vettel to Chapelele is 16, well, nearly 17 seconds, so it is going to be a tight one to call, but I think those two will have jumped the Ferrari, as the Force India of J. Cole is now had a great run up the straight, and he is going to be cleanly ahead of that Ferrari into Les Combes. So J. Cole takes the lead of this race in that Force India. He is not out of this fight yet. But Chapelele concedes the position, I think, mainly because he could quite easily get slipstream on the next lap. He just has to stay with J. Cole at this point in the race, so he doesn't damage his chances later. But Harry has got to move on Vettel, has he?
And Vettel, yeah. No, the side by side through Les Combes, and Vettel is still in front, and is going to go try and run the outside. You don't want to be doing it there. Will he try and make the switch back? Nope, he's took a deeper line and had to make a tyre exit towards No Name, and then now towards Pruon. A little bit out of shape on the exit of No Name, and now into the slipstream through Pruon they go. It'll be interesting to see how close he can keep this gap, because it was, when he first came out of the pits, it was over a second, but now it's within that second, and we've got to keep this gap close and tight. And he's run a little bit wide, but not too much time deficit. Now towards Blanchimont. We haven't seen many moves into the bus stop. It's all been into Les Combes, which has been quite sensible, because even if you make the move into the bus stop, you're then suspect to DRS slipstream towards on the camera straight towards Les Combes.
Yeah, Larkin and Gamerholic go into the pits, so they're what I thought would be the one and only pit stops. I think they're on the softs, so they will come out on mediums the last 13 odd laps of this race. And they're going to be into the back of the grid, 6th and 7th place respectively. But yeah, we only have 7 drivers left out the 10 that started. Josh retired, I think, on lap 1. Sebster retired after he had that massive spin at the top of Malmedy. And Jeroen, I didn't actually notice, retired until just now. Don't know where that was, but I think he was quite far behind, so I think that might have just been... there's no way we're getting points from this race, call it quits. But the top two still battling, and it is still about that 16-second margin. It's actually now, yeah, 16 seconds between, well, no, 17 seconds from Vettel to the leaders. So this is going to be a tight one to call when they go into the pits. It'll be around this point. If it's not this lap, it'll be the next, I reckon. I said lap 10, around then. So, but look at Evolution in the background of this battle between Vettel and Harry. He is only 3 seconds off this, so a penalty could put him right into play here. But I think he has one of his own, so just depends. Maybe if he's got the pace, he can catch up. But it all depends. Maybe if those two in front of him start in front, well, those two at the front start just between them, you can get the toe and bring it back up. But J. Cole stays out as Shepalele does come into the pits. So, will Shepalele keep his lead? Well, I think he was third before. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But Vettel and Harry both coming through the bus stop chicane now. The Ferrari's just left its pit space. So how close is he going to be? I think he's going to be right. Yeah, he might even be ahead of. Yeah, he's gonna be side by side with Harry down to Eau Rouge here. I think Harry might just have him, but I don't know. Oh yeah, Harry does have him.
Yeah. Yeah, Shepalele played it very sensible there. You don't want to be running side by side with another car through that corner, especially at the top at Radion. Especially with him coming out of the pits, as I've mentioned, with those colder tyres that he needs to take a lap or two to heat up. But he's done very well on those softs, kept himself within this battle, and so far it's anyone's game for this race. There are plenty of overtaking spots, unlike Hungary, and when J. Cole, I assume, will pit this lap, he will want to stop, obviously, Shepalele getting the undercut, but he'll want to come out within this battle and then start battling for, if he comes out in P4, he will be fighting for a podium position.
Yeah, J. Cole was about 7 tenths behind Shepalele. Shepalele really struggling to heat up these tyres, as we've seen Harry and Vettel struggle to really turn it on that first lap. But Shepalele, I think he's got them nearly up to temperature now. Vettel closing in on J. Cole, and J. Cole does enter the pit, and that is to cover from everyone else. I think he's the last person to enter the pit, so I expect him to be behind these three. But is he going to be ahead of Evolution? Who knows? But he's going to have the freshest rubber, as we say. Vettel getting challenged by Harry. Harry going up and around him at the bus stop, but Vettel just ahead. J. Cole is going down the pit lane, and now how close is he going to be to this battle as Harry goes around the outside? Does he get it stick? Does he stick? No. Oh, there is J. Cole. J. Cole's right in this battle. Right behind Shepalele as they go up the hill. He is going to have a massive toe on Shepalele as Harry goes wide and Shepalele gets a penalty. So, and Harry gets a penalty as well. So, advantage for Vettel in this race. Here we see Harry slipstreaming Vettel down towards Les Carmes. Who's going to be ahead? Harry gives him the space, but Harry is ahead of the McLaren. Look at Shepalele right there. Vettel forces his way back through. It's nearly 3 wide there as they come towards that corner again.
Brussels and then yeah. Into No Name, yeah. But Vettel has retaken the lead. He did very well to get it back up the inside as he took it into Les Carmes. But as you mentioned, 2 penalties, one for Shepalele and one for Herinho. Vettel without a penalty. As I said, game on for Vettel to take this victory. All he has to do is keep battling, basically. He's got a 3-second margin. Even if he was to drop back a little bit, he's got a 3-second margin. And so does J. Cole. If he keeps within this battle and he doesn't get a penalty, he can bag himself P2, or even if he keeps battling as well, up towards Blanchimont they go. Herinho gets the inside line through Blanchimont.
Vettel
has run a little bit wide. keeps it, but will there be a late move from here to the bus stop? No, he thinks better of it.
Shepalele, oh!
J. Cole and Shepalele battling. Herenio got a 5-second stop go penalty for exceeding track limits. That's not going to help him in this race. He'll at least drop down to P4 or even P5 as Larkin wants to get involved as well in the other Force India. It could be anyone's game. And the Red Bull. It's a 6-way fight now for the lead of this race, or even the victory, or even just the podium.
Yeah,
Mourinho made a really bad mistake going into the bus. J. Cole gets himself a 3-second time penalty. So Vettel is the only one. I'm not sure Larkin has a penalty or not, but Vettel is the only one without a penalty.
Yeah, the whole grid split by 9.4 seconds, but the top 6 split by 4.5 seconds. So very close indeed. Harry's penalty. Oh, Shepalele gets another penalty, but Harry's penalty was for cutting that bus stop, and it just gives automatic stop go. So he won't have to serve it, but it will get added on at the end of the race. It's yeah, it's a bit harsh in my opinion, but he might get that removed after the race. But why do I feel like it's raining?
That's very interesting. I think it's because the cloud cover caused a little bit of fog. I'm not sure. I can't see any spatters or anything on the cars on board.
I thought I saw spatters, but I didn't. But Shepalele's actually dropped behind J. Cole now. So J. Cole, with that penalty, I think Vettel is the only one of the front lot to not have a penalty yet. Not sure about Larkin, but these guys are really close. Larkin going for a move on Shepalele, I think. Is he going to get it round the outside of the bus stop? I think he will. There is a drying line appearing, so... Oh, Shepalele gets a switchback. They both got DRS. Shepalele is slightly ahead as they go down to turn 1, but Larkin gets his nose in front. Who is going to be ahead? Oh, he's going to go for the switchback again, is Shepalele, and he's still side by side. This is a really good battle between the two of them, and Shepalele is going to have to fit in just behind the Force India for now. Larkin now out of DRS range of his teammates, so he's going to get absolutely minced down the straight by that Ferrari. DRS flap open, still in the slipstream. Vettel's been overtaken again by Harry, but we're going to stay with this battle for P4. Shepalele round the outside. Can he hold it? I think he's going to get squeezed out into the curb, and he does. Like Harry was squeezed out earlier. Was that contact there? I think they just avoided it. And Larkin into P4 in this race. So, yeah, well, it's now a 5-way battle, I want to say, but Larkin now lost a lot of time to those front three, so he's got to gain that up really quickly if he wants to win this race.
Yeah, the battle in between Shepalele and Larkin has been fantastic, but as you said, a 1.6 second gap split between the two Force Indias. What Larkin would like to do is now push on and try and close that gap. He's going to have Shepalele on the back of him for the rest of this Grand Prix, and every time he's within that 1 second, and when DRS is activated, he's going to be making moves left, right, and centre. I'm not sure whether as you said, whether it is raining or not. I don't think it is. It's very interesting. It'd be very interesting if it does start to rain. But I think the mediums would be the best tyre if there's a little bit of dampness on the track, because obviously the harder compound tyres on a damp circuit are suited best, rather than when it's time to, if it starts pouring it down and switch to inters. And Herenio sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He now wants to push on, but will Vettel let him push on? He's still within that 1 second, and so is J. Cole. So up through Eau Rouge and Radion they go. Will Vettel make the move once again? He's quite a way back, 0.6 back, and J. Cole within another half a second onto the camel straight to go. Both the McLaren and Force India, and there's a yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh, it is Shepalele.
Vettel tried to make a move around the outside, didn't work, but he has a better run through Les Combes. He's going to have the inside. It's the next corner.
J. Cole passed as well. Not good for Vettel. Went off the track massively, but I think that was Shepalele at Eau Rouge. He had a spun and now at the back of the field, so big loss for him. Lost, I think, 2 positions there, so
yeah, at that
not
time
good for
as well.
him.
He hasn't got any damage, I've seen, so he can still keep pushing. He will get some points out of this race, but he is not in the battle for the podiums. J. Cole has managed to get himself up into P2 very well for the Force Indians. They want to get basically maximum points on the Toro Rossos in the constructors. And Vettel needs to rethink this. He doesn't know that J. Cole or Harinia have got penalties, so he was just going to keep pushing as they go through Blanchimont now. He's in the toe of the Force India. Will he have the inside line into the bus stop?
Oh my god.
J. Cole breaks a little bit later. He's going to have the inside line of Harinia towards the start-finish line. He will stick into P2, but very close between these three drivers. Don't be going 3 away into turn 1. As J. Cole tries to move around the outside of Harinia, Vettel sits back and watches this battle unfold in front of him. He doesn't want to get involved, especially if the two tangle. And J. Cole has the lead of this race, but will it be for long as they go up the camera straight? Hariner's had a massive change of direction through a rouge. He had to cut the corner and not take the line properly. He's lost a lot of time, and Vettel would have the inside line into Les Combes. Will he have the inside line on J. Cole as well? J. Cole keeps hold of the lead, and Vettel is now back into P2. Hariner are making a few mistakes in this Grand Prix, but not losing a lot of time, as if he was to make massive mistakes, he could earn a bit of war. He could even drastically change his race and not even get any points out of it. But sensibly, still within this fight, 3/10 off Vettel and a further 6/10 away from J. Cole. Now leading this race officially with no more stops seeming to unfold. And he has 5-lap pressure mediums as well.
Yeah, I was just going, after that overtake, Shepalele was going around the outside of Gamerholic, and he just really struggled for grip. I don't know if he's overheated his tyres when he spun. Well, he must have, but I don't think they've cooled down yet, and he just didn't seem to get the traction. He's still behind Gamerholic. He's really struggling to get past. But now, we have this 4-car train for the lead, as we see Vettel right on the back of J. Cole now. He does stick his nose down the inside, just cut it slightly. Harry gets another stop go for cutting the track. So that's, once again, 2 stop goes in this race for Harry. If he gets another, he actually could get disqualified from this race. So he has to be very, very careful now. As Larkin goes down his inside, Harry's going to lose that position, as he can't really get his foot down properly. But Vettel now, we're going to go on board with him up the hill, up Radion, now through the kink onto the Kemmel straight, DRS flap open. He is surely going to be back into the lead of this race. Can J. Cole do anything about it around the outside of Les Combes? Lay on the brakes from Vettel, and they're still side by side, but he is ahead. J. Cole goes for the switchback. Very good move from J. Cole. Can he get enough of a run on Vettel down towards Bruxelles? And round the outside, cuts Vettel off, and Harry is brought right back into this. So cut Vettel off slightly, but very good defensive driving from J. Cole to keep that position. Vettel now has to really look behind him. These 4 cars are going to be battling non-stop for the to the end of this race. And it's all about who can get on top. As it stands, the championship order will be Harry will stay at the top, with Vettel second, and I think Larkin in 4th, if my standings can load. But I think that's how it will be. J. Cole is going to catch quite a few points on these guys. But as you see, Vettel going to the outside of the bus stop now. Does he have enough on the brakes? He's already round the outside of J. Cole. He's going to have the inside for the second corner, a bit narrower. J. Cole gets enough of a good, better run down the straight. Look at Harry, right on the back, going around the outside of Vettel now into the first corner. He's going to hold on to that, but Harry's still there with that other Force India behind him. So, not the best situation for Vettel to be in. Isn't really that close. Well, he's close to J. Cole, but J. Cole goes very wide at the top of the hill. Very wide indeed, and that's a massive mistake for him, as now there's a three cars looking to try and get past him now. Gamerholic gets a penalty as we see that, but J. Cole hangs on to that position comfortably into Les Combes. Wasn't really challenged that hard. But yeah, Vettel couldn't really make anything of that mistake up Eau Rouge.
No, he didn't indeed, and that's probably one of the first times I haven't really seen a position change especially with the drivers being so close going down the tunnel straight. But fantastic defending from J. Cole, keeping hold of this lead. He knows he's got a penalty, but the other drivers don't. So he needs to try and he's got to push. He's got fresher tyres, he needs to push, but he can't seem to break the 1 second window. Because once you break the 1 second window, you're more than likely to pull away. But with all these drivers, all three, Vettel, Vineyard and Larkin, all within 1 second of each other, they're all getting slipstream, they're all getting DRS, they're all hitting a higher top speed than J. Cole. So along this straight, the back straight towards Blanchard, J. Cole's literally like a sitting duck for all three of these drivers. But it depends on EOS as well, because if J. Cole's been able to save EOS and harness more energy compared to the other drivers, that's how he can hold on to currently leading this race. As Vettel now in the DRS of J. Cole up towards turn 1, no move up the inside sensibly, and Harry is following suit, and along with Larkin, it's a forced India sandwich with a double filling of Vettel and Herino in the McLaren car also. So up as we go, and so Radian, Vettel right on the gearbox of J. Cole coming on the exit of that corner. He's going to have a fantastic run down the counter straight. He will have the inside line. Who's going to be late onto the brakes? Will J. Cole be fine? Hold it round the outside, will have the inside for the next part. He has lost the position to Vettel. Fantastic move from J. Cole wants to try and make it round the outside through Brussels. He can't do no name. Side by side they go, and Vettel hangs on to the lead of this race as Herino and Larkin look well within this four-way battle for the victory of this Grand Prix. 4 laps at the end of this to go. It is still anyone's game. But we know as Herino tries to make a move at the inside of J. Cole into the final sector of this lap. And Larkin wants a piece of the action as well. He's going to try and make a move, but he's still sticking back in P4 because he wants slipstream off everyone going up towards the bus stop.
Yeah, I've been paying attention to Larkin, and Larkin has really struggled to do anything against Harry because just of the toe that Harry has got. But now Harry is, well, no, he's actually still right there. But Larkin he can't really get the toe he needs to overtake Harry, as Harry's got one on the other two. But as we say that, Larkin trying it round the outside of Harry into turn 1. But J. Cole are going to have a good run on Vettel now. Oh no, he's actually dropped back a little bit, so might still be close enough. But he is losing a lot of time in a straight line. Larkin gets his penalty, so Vettel still the only one without a penalty. As Harry now to the outside of J. Cole. This is going to be a move for second place, you would have thought. No, he's going to lose that. Larkin going to go up the inside of his teammate as well, and Larkin gets a double overtake on the straight. Very good moves from Larkin. Harry got out of the slipstream and couldn't do anything, and Larkin just stayed in his teammate's slipstream, got past Harry and late on the brakes than his teammate. And now Larkin, with that penalty now, he is provisionally second, but he needs to hope Vettel can get a penalty and really push on Vettel. But these four still battling so hard for every position they can get. But Harry now down to P4. He's actually going to lose the lead of the driver standings as it stands. Vettel will go back to the top. Or will he? No. No, Larkin will go back to the top. No, wait. Larkin will go back to the top. Larkin will go back to the top by 3 points as it stands, with Vettel not far behind. I think Vettel will overtake Harry as well, so Harry will drop to third, but it'll be much closer than it is already, and it's only 11 points between them now, so who knows how close it will be by the end of this race. But it is not over yet. There are 3 laps of this brilliant track to go, and 6 crucial braking points for the drivers to get through. Look at J. Cole, he's pretty much pushing that McLaren through turn 1. Larkin, is pushing that McLaren through turn 1. And J. Cole also struggling in a straight line now. I do not know what's happened to J. Cole, but he's going to get overtaken, I feel, down the straight. Here comes Larkin with the DRS on Vettel. Is he close enough, really, to try into he's ahead? And he is round the outside. Larkin into the lead of this race. Very good move from Larkin again. And Jaco actually hangs on. Oh, Gamerholic has retired from this Grand Prix. So we're down to 6 runners now. Yeah, Larkin into the lead. But that 3-second penalty is gonna, I think, cost him that. Oh, Vettel very wide there. That could have been a warning for track extension there. But this has kind of split itself into the top 2 battling now. And the other 2 have kind of split off a little bit. But yeah, J. Cole's straight line speed has gone. I think he might be low on ERS, but it is gone in the last 2 laps. So I do not know. But Vettel now on the charge again. He has to. Well, he doesn't actually have to. He just has to keep it clean at this point, and he will win this Grand Prix and go back to the top. No, not to the top, but back. Right, put him right back into contention of this championship.
Yeah, great stuff from Larkin. Considering 2 or 3 laps ago he was all the way down in P4, and now he's leading this Grand Prix. Excellent moves from him. He does have a penalty, as we know, and Vettel is the only one without a penalty. Vettel needs to do just keep it clean, as he said, keep it clean. But he won't know that Larkin has a penalty, so he will be pushing and pushing all the way to the end. As he gets a great exit out Radion onto the camel straight to go. Larkin holds the inside line into Laycom. Vettel's going to have to do it round the outside, but as we know, he will have the inside for the second half. Late under the brakes, just Larkin. He does hold him. He pushes Vettel onto the curbing as Carino gets another penalty in this Grand Prix. Vettel still stuck in P2, right on the gearbox of Larkin, now going through No Name and towards Piron on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. J. Cole is still within that 1 second, but it doesn't seem to be pushing. As you mentioned, he has started to drop off a little bit. He could be low on ERS. He could be low on fuel as well. A lot of these drivers tend to vary in how much fuel load they want to put in. Some might underfuel, some might overfuel quite a lot, and then have a lot more to push on. So he could now have to be in that stage of saving a little bit of fuel so he can run either standard or rich towards the end, and especially on the main straights where he needs to defend from Irineo and try and catch Vettel fan and his teammate. As Vettel fan gets into the slipstream of Larkin towards the bus stop chicane, 2 Blanchemont to go. No side-by-side action, but he does have a better run into the slipstream. Will he make a move into the bus stop? He's going to try and take a tighter line and get a better exit onto the start-finish lane. And so here we go for the final lap of this Grand Prix. Excellent stuff from all 4 of these drivers, but who will come out on top? We'll find out in the next minute or 2 as Vettel fan gets a better exit out of turn 1 into the slipstream of Larkin. He goes towards Eau Rouge and Radion for the final time, right on the gearbox of the Force India. Very close between them. Chapelele has retired from this Grand Prix. 5 runners left as Vettel fan will have the outside line once again. He did have a better run through Radion than Larkin. Will Larkin hold the inside line? He tries to, but Vettel goes sweeping round the outside and takes the lead of this Grand Prix with 2 sectors to go, but Larkin's going to want to fight this all the way, trying to run around the outside of Bruxelles, and he can't. The line through there is not the best if you're on the outside, so he's going to try and hold back. He's going to have one last chance to try and make a move, and that will be towards the bus stop. He's going to have to keep it nice and clean, nice and close, and J. Cole wants a little bit as well, as he's managed to put himself back into this little battle for P2 and first place of this race. And Carino, unfortunately, because of all those penalties, he's going to drop even further. He'll drop down to P5, and Evolution kept himself quiet in this race, will be promoted to P4.
Evolution got a penalty early on, I think. So I think it'll stay in this order.
2 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, the 5 seconds. Yeah. I completely forgot about those.
Into the bus stop we go for the final time. No late move from Larkin. He's literally pushing him through the corner. A little bit of contact, no damage, but up to literally a dash to the line, and it's going to be Vettel fan who takes victory in the Belgian Grand Prix with Larkin in P2, J. Cole in P3. As you can see there, 3-second time penalty.
And there goes Evolution.
Larkin, and yeah, Evolution in P4, and Carino, sadly, that drops down to P5.
That was a brilliant race. At one point, 7 drivers fighting for the lead of that race. It came down to 4 at the end, but that, even with 10 drivers, that was a very, very good race. But yeah, Vettel comes out on top, kept his nose clean, no penalties, and but you really couldn't split those drivers. It was only really the penalties that split those drivers. But we do have a change at the top of the championship. Larkin will take the lead of the championship as Vettel jumps into second, and Harry will drop down to third in the championship. J. Cole will go up to fourth as well, but in the constructors, Force India will extend their lead as well.
No, they'll be closing the gap on Toro Rosso. No, we'll extend. Extend that. Extend now. Extend the gap. It was 36. With only one driver running in the Toro Rosso, it's a bit difficult for Harry to keep pushing his charge for the Toro Rosso boys in the constructors.
Do you want to bring this out?
So we'd like to thank you all for watching this Grand Prix. Fantastic racing from Vettel, Larkin and Jacob and Harinho. Fantastic race. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next week for the Singapore Grand Prix.
Italy.
No, Italy. What?
Yeah, it's Monza.
I'm on the wrong calendar. Because I race, I'm on the wrong calendar. Yeah, for the Monza Grand Prix, a classic race as well as Spa, will be going top speed once again around Monza.
See you there.